Nick Clayton here with the one and only J.C. Santana at the Institute of Human Performance.
Yes, sir.
Here to talk about unconventional methods, techniques, and equipment for strength conditioning in combat sports. So let's get right into it. JC, what do you mean by unconventional methods?
Unconventional is exactly that. Unconventional, non-traditional, things you don't see every day. And I got to tell you, this was inspired by combat athletes and by the whole combat scenario. But when you take a big macro look at it, how do you pick up a kid? Almost the same way an athlete, picks up another athlete, right? How do you secure a basket of clothes? How do you secure a child that's sleeping? The same way you clinch. So I got to thinking, the body does several things, and whether it's on the mat or in the house, the training should be the same because the movements are the same. So we started coming up with a lot of different cool ways to train things that you see, but most people don't realize. So what do you think? We show the fine folks of the NSCA a few of these crazy but very effective training techniques.
Let's do it.
One of the things that everybody does, one of the 4 pillars, which is push and pull. One of the fundamental pulls is to carry. I don't care if you're carrying groceries, if you're carrying a child, or if you're carrying an opponent or clinching type, okay? The easiest way to get started with the unconventional methods is to take a set of kettlebells or dumbbells and hold them in this position. All right, like this. You try those, and I'll try this. And, you can start with 10 seconds, work up to 30, and then walk around. You will see, oftentimes, people walking around with kettlebells all around IHP. And then we do it in a pre-fatigue state. So we'll hit you. Okay, you can put them down.
Just about to say, I need
so
to do
we'll
more
hit
arms.
We'll hit you with 30 seconds on a Versa climber, 20 burpees, an Aerodyne, or anything like that will get you really tired. Then we have you carry these things for 30. So our moms will carry kids throughout the mall and not get tired, and our athletes will lock up on you, and you will not get away.
All right, so JC, how do you take what we learn, our conventional Olympic lifts, morph them into something a little more unconventional?
Yeah, I love the Olympic lifts because I love the sport. However, for many reasons, sometimes the Olympic lifts are not appropriate for athletes or individuals that may have limited ranges of motion and whatnot. And plus, I always like to make it taste a little bit more like what you're doing. So let's give you a spectrum of how it goes from traditional to unconventional. Okay, we all know that the power clean, right? Here's your power position, all right? Wrist curls, back straight, and then from in here, boom. Got it? So that's your power clean. From there, we went to the ricochet clean because we found that a lot of guys couldn't rack. Wrist, elbows, they're all messed up, from combat. So we came up with this guy here. And so you can bang about 5 of those in about 2.5, 3 seconds.
Oof, maybe you.
So you get the triple extension, you get that power. You don't have all of this stuff that sometimes hurts some people. Then we said, all right, even that is kind of difficult to teach. What position are you in when you clinch? Can we get that same triple extension and drive from the hip in a clinch position or in a carry position? So we came up with the power curl or the power clinch. So you're in the clinch, all right, position, right? And then you're in here. It's the same thing from the power, boom. So it's, do you want to make it a little bit more difficult? You can walk it a little bit. Walk it a little bit. So double underhook, break the clinch, and walk them. Okay, so double underhook, break the takedown, not the clinch, break the takedown, clinch them up and walk them.
I like it.
So that's how your traditional lifts morph into unconventional lifts.
Yeah. I love how you're taking the power and then putting in some work behind it.
Yeah.
So it's just get some conditioning in there too. It's great.
Yeah, you can see just a few reps, man. Can you imagine 4 sets of 5? And in between, you may be doing some cable 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock rotations with 70 kilos. It's fighting.
I'm glad you're the man demoing this. How about the 3D type training? What else you got for grips?
Yeah, I mean, I was a wrestler and I developed my grip finger rolls, wrist curls, and now, as of late, the farmer's carries, okay? That's great for carrying suitcase. However, when I grab a forearm, I can have a parallel orientation, got it? Or if I'm behind him, I can have a perpendicular orientation. Or I can have, if he attacks my wrist, or he goes the other way, I need to be able to do this. And I don't need to be able to squeeze an apple, you know, and crush it. I just need to be able to put handcuffs on you. Very loose, but just not give them away. So we have developed specialized gripping equipment that allows a parallel orientation, perpendicular orientation, and it allows me to do all types of circumventing exercises. So one of the simple exercises that we start for like 2-on-1 rides and 1-on-1 rides is recline pulls, right? We can go 2-on-1 perpendicular, we can go neutral, and we can go in here. Now, we can go this way, 5 reps that way, 5 reps in neutral, and 5 reps this way. So as you're attacking my wrist, I can follow you around and not loosen. Remember, in gripping, the wrist is the gateway to the outside world. And anything that does not pass through the wrist can't pass beyond that neighborhood. So if you destabilize the wrist, your pec turns off, your shoulder turns off, or your lat turns off because it's trying to save the wrist. So we want to make the wrist very strong in all positions, right? So
Yes, sir.
you go, well, how thick are these? Look at the space between my fingers. It's about that. So I took the average wrist and this above the wrist area of about 47 different fighters, all weight classes, and this is what I came up with. All right? If you don't have the specialized stuff, you know, that we've made, go to Home Depot. Get 2.5-inch pipes. That's how I started. You cut them up in 8-inch sectionals, put a rope behind it, and we used that for 3 years before we ever had these made in China. Okay? So, we call these the clamps, and these are good for limbs, small limbs. Now, what happens when I come up here and get a neck, get a shoulder, get a back, get a leg? This is the most underestimated grip or holding position out there. It's called the hook grip. This interlaced position is a small hook grip. This is a medium hook grip. But this is the grip that you use when you pick up a UPS box. This is the grip that you use when you pick up a sofa. This is the grip that you use when you pick up a baby. This is the most popular grip out there. And for this, we developed the lockdowns. Okay? The lockdowns are here. Okay? And again, you can start with the recline pull. So if a person is on top of me, a fighter's on top of me, and I want to grab the shoulders, the back, and pull them towards me to get them into that interlock position, this is what I use. Now, I can go and go one arm, neck, boom, back, and keep nice and steady. Why don't you give it a shot?
All right.
So you can see how that feels.
You starting me on one?
No, we're going to start you off on
man.
2. So you can get a feel for the hook grip. Come on back, come on, but you're a strong cat. You know you're coming to IHP, baby. I'm not gonna let you roll like that.
I like it.
Good. Okay, so just move around different arm positions so you can feel the forearm already?
Man, I could probably do about 50 TRX rows.
Okay.
And with these things,
You're done. All right, so now,
oh boy.
relax a little bit and then see the additional requirements not only on the forms, but the core. And what we want is the body to stay like a table. And just up and down, just easy so you could feel it. Just feet to there, good. And then, perfect. And just that. Okay, so imagine this is my neck, and I'm here. Now you gotta pull it towards your chest. Bam, there it is.
Bam, I like
Okay,
this.
all right?
I like it.
So that is just an example of the recline versions. Now we can have these guys up here, and you can do pull-ups, you can do wide pull-ups, you can do V pull-ups. You can do a host of things. You can tie them to cables. You can even put them around your standard machines. But this is how we think of gripping. Not only this for suitcases, but this for everything in life, and this for small limbs.
That's good stuff. Folks, grabs my wrist. I feel like a bear's got me. Guy knows what he's talking about. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Again, Nick Clayton from the NSCA, bridging the gap. The great JC Santana here in Florida at IHP.